Hello everyone, welcome back. My name's Kai Roberts and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I didn't upload a video last week and that was because I was on self-isolation because of the whole coronavirus, and I don't feel like I was going to make any good content whilst I was just sat around the house being stuck doing nothing. Which is kind of hypocritical because I'm doing exactly the same right now, except just in my room. But yes, a couple of things have happened and it's just more, this video is going to be more of an update about what's going to happen with flying and the YouTube channel. So in terms of flying, I have switched over to the PA-28. I think it's the Warrior, or it could be the Arrow. They look exactly the same to me. And yes, so far it's really good on the PA-28. I had my first 2 lessons at Booker Aviation in High Wycombe. We were just doing circuits, and obviously because I've done some circuits before elsewhere and transferred over to Booker, I just need to come back and just show them that I know what I'm talking about. I know I can put my skills to the test. So I'm just going through that bit at the moment. I've kind of it's like I'm at 12 hours flying time, essentially. And you know, there is one thing where I need to get used to speaking on air traffic control, because the place I was learning at before, there was no air traffic control at all. It was just blind calls the whole time. But yes, in terms of the PA-28, it's really good. And something really interesting happened during the lesson. So we did 3 circuits in the last one. The first one, the instructor showed me around just the local area, just so you know I knew like the marker points to turn at. Second time I was in control, doing like all the marker points and coming in for the approach and the takeoff. And the third time we were coming in for an approach, and I put the flap up into the drag setting, so like you know the 3 stages of flap, and it broke. The flap broke on me, and I was holding this like on a PA-28. It's a mechanical lever, by the way, for flap, and I was holding the lever, and it, you know, like when on a handbrake, if you press the button in, and you can like pull it up to apply the handbrake. Basically, I pressed the button in to unlatch the flap and pull it up into the 3rd position, but it wasn't holding it in position. It kept dropping down, and I was holding it there, and I was going, instructor, what's going on here? And I you know, the flap had quite simply broken. There's no way I could control it. So I held the flap up, because obviously you don't want to just drop your flap, because obviously you know it's going to be big doo-doo for the airplane essentially. So I held the flap up, and I signaled to my instructor next to me and said, "Hey, the flap's broken. We need to go around." And you know we did. We did. We went around. We did like a short final then. We did like a short circuit then, and yeah, so we just had to make a flapless approach in a real life situation, which is great, because it's exactly what you do the flapless approach for, and you know what you train it for. And I was a bit cheeky. I said like, look, I know this is probably not the right time, but could I do the flapless landing, because I've done it before. Yes, it's a different aircraft, but I feel rather confident I could do it. And he didn't let me, but it was worth asking. So yes, that's the interesting thing that happened last time. Flap failure, and obviously flapless landing. That was all good. The second thing I want to talk about today is I'm changing my strategy for flying lessons. I'm not saying like, you know, I'm changing my strategy, I'm going to go do like distance learning, because that's impossible for a PPL. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm not going to stick with one instructor. My mindset a couple of weeks ago was that if I stick with one instructor and do 4 lessons a month, because that's all my budget can afford, then I'll have that continuity of the instructor going through the entire PPL, so I become a good, solid PPL holder from one instructor, because you know your training is going to be compounded with this one instructor, which is great if you want to go really in depth with the subject, depending on the instructor. Some instructors are rubbish, but as much as I'd like to learn with one instructor and keep it just that one instructor and a good core understanding of flying, I really need to prioritize speeding up my PPL. So I need to look at getting my PPL done in the next couple of months, which leads me on to the other thing. I'm gonna start doing, so it's March 23rd now. April is next week, and my birthday's on the 2nd. April, I'm going to have around about 11 lessons. May, I'm going to go for another 10. And then June, I'm going to go for another 10 as well. but I might try and add some more lessons on top of this as well, because I want to get all my PPL done by June. And the reason for this is because I want to maximize my time flying in good weather in the summer. Just because if I can get my PPL and a lot of the hour building done by June, well, if I can get the PPL done by June, it means I can start focusing on hour building and just enjoying flight training. I'm not going to do my night rating straight away because I feel like I need to learn to fly the plane properly by myself. Like, you know, just like how you pass your driving test, but you kind of learn more once you start driving. I kind of feel it's going to be the same with the PPL, so I'd rather get my PPL, compound everything I've learned in the PPL, and go out flying and having fun, and then do my night rating later on when I feel confident that I've really got that PPL training nailed. And the other thing is that as soon as the PPL is done, it means I can start revising for the ATPL exams, which is a bit scary, but it does need to happen. So those are the two things I really wanted to talk about. Sorry I've been a bit like dry throat. I've still got a bit of a sore throat. It's not coronavirus, don't worry. I was on isolation last week and it did pass, and I don't know whether I had it or not, but I had a really sore throat, like much worse than this. I had a bit of a cough as well, but I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. My hands are taking a beating from washing my hands so much. This stuff here is a lifesaver. And yes, I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I've just been boring talking to a camera, but oh well, it's just an update and these videos are for myself anyway. So thanks, and I'll see you later. Bye.